Last week, the Supreme Court struck out an appeal that purportedly originated from the Action Alliance after the Kenneth Udeze-led leadership of the party disowned it and stated the counsel who filed the said appeal wasn't acting on the instruction of the authentic leadership of the party. The matter is on a concluded pre-election matter that took place in Abeokuta, Ogun State. This ruling by the Apex Court followed the filing of a notice of withdrawal by the law firm of Michael Onduaka on behalf of Udeze. Sometimes in January, the appeal court affirmed Kenneth Udeze as national chairman of the Action Alliance, a decision currently on appeal at the Supreme Court.
On becoming aware of the pendency of this appeal, the national chairman of the party, Barrister Keneth Ude, gave instruction that this appeal should be withdrawn. He wrote to the lawyer who filed the appeal without the instruction of the party, asking why was the appeal filed when instruction was not given to the party. And he also wrote to us, giving us instruction to withdraw the appeal. And we filed our notice of appeal, notice of withdrawal of the appeal. And based on our notice of withdrawal of the appeal has been withdrawn today and struck out by the Supreme Court.
There is a lawyer who took the name of the party and filed a matter with respect to a pre-election matter that took place in Ogun State, with respect to who was the authentic governorship candidate of the party in the just concluded general election in 2023. That matter was filed in Ogun State. The party challenged it, and at the end of the day, the governorship candidate, as fielded by Chief Barrister Kenneth Udeze, the executive, was upheld to be the authentic governorship candidate of Ogun State.
Okay, after the ruling, the tension is yet to die down within the party. The Adekunle Omoaje faction of the Action Alliance is still laying claim to the leadership of the party, insisting that Kenneth Udeze has been suspended by the party. We have in the studio Kenneth Udeze right here with me, and has been recognized by the appeal court as the chairman of the Action Alliance. And from our offside studio, we have Nweze, who is the counsel to Omoaje. Thank you both for coming to Newsnight. I think I will start from Nweze in our offside studio. The decision of the High Court in Abeokuta on a pre-election matter, how does this really affect the leadership of the party with the latest dispensation from the appeal court?
In order to go into all what transpired at the Federal High Court at Abeokuta, Ogun State, it was all about pre-election matter, but there was an interlocutory appeal that emanated from that same pre-election matter. So it wasn't Federal High, it wasn't High Court of FCT. It emanated from, it wasn't even High Court of Abeokuta. So I think there is a misrepresentation. So that same pre-election, the person who was the candidate, who emerged the candidate of the party after the pre-election was one comrade, Prince Honorable Owofala. So within this, while the matter was still on, so there was an issue that came up. Keneth Udeze instructed Barrister Malaki, to write to a lawyer that they briefed to disengage the counsel whom was engaged by Honorable Omoaje Adekunle Rufai, to represent the party, that's Action Alliance. So within that time, the court now arrived at the conclusion that Keneth Udeze does not have the right to be the one who will be the one that we assign, who will engage any counsel at all to represent Action Alliance, having been expelled and suspended by the party. That was the decision of the Federal High Court. Then Kenneth Ude, being dissatisfied with the decision of the Federal High Court, appealed to Court of Appeal. So the Court of Appeal affirmed the decision of the Federal High Court, Abeokuta. Now Kenneth Ude, still being dissatisfied, still appealed to Supreme Court, though he finally filed notice of withdrawal, which led to the court dismissing the said appeal on 14th of May 2024.
Very much.
So it has nothing to do with the Federal High Court. It has nothing to do with High Court of FCT.
Well, it's all right. Sometimes I'm sure our viewers will be wondering why we have two combatants who are already in court here when this is a news-making organization. But maybe your supporters will hear you better here than listening to some of the legal jargons. So, but let me come to you, Kenneth Udeze. You are a lawyer. Is there a subsisting judgment from what Onyinye has said of the appellate court in Abuja that affirmed your leadership?
Thank you very much for having me in this your studio. I want to thank you so very much for this opportunity. Let me start by, it was just the respect I have for Arise TV station that made me to come this night to really talk about this. Ordinarily, I wouldn't want to delve into a matter that is already pending. As we speak today, there is only one subsisting judgment of the Court of Appeal affirming me and my leadership as the authentic leaders of the party. That said judgment has been appealed by my opponent, the Omaje, the young lawyer there is representing. The matter is before the Supreme Court, SC/162/2024. It has not been heard. The matter is pending, so I cannot stand here as an experienced lawyer for over 18 years standing to start discussing into a matter that is before the sanctuary of our Nigerian judiciary, the Supreme Court. I cannot do that. But just to talk about the politics of it, I want to let the viewers know that the judgment of the Court of Appeal, which has been appealed to the Supreme Court, is still pending. Now, with respect to the report made by Arise TV on the ruling that took place in the Supreme Court on the 14th of this month, it has nothing, it doesn't have any correlation whatsoever with the leadership of the party. That has to do with the pre-election matter, like the young lady.
Which we stated very copiously as reported, or as the matter was withdrawn by the appellant court lawyer from the Supreme Court, Andoaka.
Exactly. So, I personally, as the national chairman of the party, when we got the tip that there was an existing appeal at the Supreme Court. Incidentally, the young lady that is talking from the other side is not familiar with the facts of this matter, because they keep saying that Chief Barrister Keneth Ude went to Court of Appeal. From Court of Appeal, he went to the Supreme Court. I never went to Court of Appeal. Neither do I instructed any lawyer to go to the Supreme Court. Reason why, when we got the tip of what was happening, we quickly instructed the lawyer, the law firm of the former Attorney General of the Federation, Andoaka, who handled my matter at the level of Court of Appeal, and we won that case, which is subsisting as we speak.
Okay, let me just quickly ask Onyinye, who is in our offside studio, has Omwaje appealed the appellate court's decision to the apex court?
Yes, without dispute, he actually appealed against the decision of the Court of Appeal. But what we are trying to make everyone to understand is the fact that the case, which abated on that same 14th day of May 2024, it has nothing to do with the matter that emanated from High Court of FCT. It's a different matter altogether. That one was all about the expulsion of Keneth Ude from the party. The Federal High Court of Abeokuta, Ogun State, affirmed the fact that Keneth Udeze has been expelled from the party. The same Keneth Udeze appealed to Court of Appeal. Court of Appeal still gave judgments in favor of Omaje on the fact that Keneth Udeze was expelled from the party and even awarded cost of 1 million.
Well, okay. I think this is okay.
And if someone is not, if one has been expelled from the party, ordinarily, whether the person is the chairman or not, if you are not a member of the party, you don't have any right to be the chairman of the party. It's something that everyone should know about.
So the appeal, what you're saying is that the appeal court never pronounced that Barrister Keneth Udeze is the chairman, national chairman of the Action Alliance Party?
No, the appeal court, in a different appeal, other than the one that took, the one that ended on that, the one that was dismissed by the Supreme Court on 14th day of May, 2024. And so the appeal court, I think on 6th day of January, 2024, actually affirmed the fact that Kenneth Udeze is the chairman of Action Alliance. But that one has been appealed. That same decision of the Court of Appeal has been appealed by Omaje, and the Supreme Court is yet to decide on that.
Yes. So,
but the one that abated on 14th day of May was in respect of expulsion of Kenneth. And like I said, ab initio, if a member has been expelled from the party, the person cannot be the chairman of the party.
Okay, I think Udeze wants to respond very quickly.
Please, thank you. Thank you so much. Incidentally, the young lawyer there over the other side was not part of this matter. Now, let me just quickly correct
very quickly
the impression.
Time, yeah.
They keep making much mincemeat of a judgment of Abeokuta. With me here in the studio is the said judgment they are talking about, the certified true copy of the judgment in Abeokuta. It has to do with who was the authentic governorship candidate of the party in Ogun State. It doesn't have anything to do with suspension. The issue of suspension has already been settled by the Court of Appeal, Abuja. And let me quickly, if she doesn't know, because she's not part of the legal team that were in Abeokuta, the judge in the judgment in Abeokuta said, accordingly, this is the last paragraph, I shall not allow the plaintiff, that is the so-called Awofala he's mentioning, I will not allow the plaintiff to drag this honorable court into the murky water of tussle of leadership of his political party. I so hold. And she would now concluded by saying, in all, I uphold the second defendant's application premise on my reason stated above. And in the same vein, I dismiss the plaintiff's originating summons. That matter they are talking about was the judgment was in the favor of the party. So how can the party who got a favorable judgment go to Supreme Court or go to Court of Appeal to appeal a judgment that was favorable? It's so laughable. So it doesn't have anything to do with the leadership of the party. It has to do with who was the authentic governorship candidate in Abeokuta, which the court in Abeokuta ruled in favor that S.O. Adeyemi was the governorship candidate. The Awofala she's mentioned is not known to the party. So if I have a favorable judgment in a court of a federal high court, how do you expect me to appeal it in Court of Appeal? When I discovered their game, what they were trying to do, we quickly instructed the law firm of Andoka to inform the Supreme Court. So as for the mere fact that the Supreme Court have dismissed that appeal, it means that there was no appeal after all in the Supreme Court. So that is the position. As we speak today, the judgment of Court of Appeal, Abuja, that affirmed my team as the authentic leadership of the party is still on appeal in the Supreme Court. The pre-election matter has no correlation. It has no correlation whatsoever with respect to who are the leaders of the party. That is the point I want to make, please.
Well, I just have to draw the curtains here on this discussion.
Conclusion.
Sorry, Onyenye, sorry. You had your time. We don't have the luxury of time. Sorry, please.
It will be better for me to clear the judgment he just mentioned.
No, sorry, please. I asked you earlier if there was a Court of Appeal judgment. You understand? So please, we don't have the luxury of time. The matter is in court. I think their lordships their
paragraph 16
lordships,
of that same judgment
their
of Federal High
lordships
Court,
would be
of that
in a
Federal High Court
better
of Abeokuta
position
stated
to
clearly
adjudicate
that Kenneth
this
has been
matter.
expelled from the party.
Thank you very much, Barrister Kenneth Udeze, National Chairman,
Thank you
Action
so much.
Alliance,
Thank you so much
and
for having me.
Nweze, Barrister, also counsel to Adekunle Omoaje faction of the party.